Roger Alexander Deakins CBE is an English cinematographer, best known for his work on the films of the Coen brothers, Sam Mendes, and Denis Villeneuve. Deakins is a member of both the American and British Society of Cinematographers. He received the 2011 American Society of Cinematographers Lifetime Achievement Award.
In recognition of outstanding contribution to the British film industry, Deakins is an honorary Fellow of the National Film School in Buckinghamshire, of which he is an alumnus. In 2013 he received a CBE at Buckingham Palace for services to film. The recipient of 5 BAFTA Awards for Best Cinematography, Deakins has received 15 nominations and 1 win for the Academy Award for Best Cinematography. His most well-known works include The Shawshank Redemption, Fargo, A Beautiful Mind, Skyfall, Sicario, and Blade Runner 2049, the last of which earned him his first Academy Award. Deakins is considered to be among the greatest and most influential cinematographers of all time.
Deakins was born in Torquay in the English county of Devon. His father ran a construction company, while his mother was an actress and amateur painter. Deakins attended Torquay Boys' Grammar School. He took up painting from a young age, and subsequently enrolled in the Bath Academy of Art in Bath, Somerset, where he studied graphic design. While studying in Bath, Deakins developed a passion for photography. He cited the photographer Roger Main, who was then a guest lecturer at the Academy, as a major source of inspiration.
After college, Deakins applied to the newly opened National Film School, but was denied admission as his photography was considered not filmic enough. He spent the following year wandering the countryside, photographing rural life in North Devon, before finally being admitted to the National Film School in 1972. Director Michael Radford was one of Deakins' schoolmates.
After graduating, Deakins found work as a cameraman, assisting in the production of various projects for approximately 7 years. An early project of his involved filming a 9-month trip on a yacht as an entrant of the Whitbread Round the World race, titled Around the World with Ridgway. Deakins was subsequently hired to film 2 documentaries in Africa. His first, Zimbabwe, was a clandestine documentation of the Rhodesian Bush War, while his second, Eritrea, Behind Enemy Lines, depicted the Eritrean War of Independence. He also shot anthropological documentaries in India and Sudan.
During the late 1970s and early 1980s, Deakins was also involved in a number of music-related projects, including Blue Suede Shoes, a music documentary about the British rockabilly scene, the concert film Van Morrison in Ireland, and the Ray Davies musical film Return to Waterloo. He also made short music videos for Herbie Hancock, Eric Clapton, Marvin Gaye, Tracy Ullman, Madness, Level 42, and Meat Loaf.
Deakins' first dramatic project was miniseries titled Walcott, about a black detective working in the East End of London. The camera work of the miniseries impressed his former schoolmate and frequent collaborator Michael Radford, who enlisted Deakins for their first dramatic feature, the 1983 film Another Time, Another Place. The film screened at the Cannes Film Festival and was well received. Subsequently, Deakins and Radford teamed up again on 1984, based upon George Orwell's novel of the same name. The film was noted for its bold, unusual palette, which Deakins achieved through a process known as bleach bypass, where the silver is retained in the print, creating a washed-out look that reflected Orwell's bleak vision. Deakins was the first Western cinematographer to use the technique, which has since become highly influential and could be seen in films such as Seven and Saving Private Ryan. Subsequently, he was admitted to the British Society of Cinematographers.
Throughout the 1980s, Deakins continued working in Britain, serving as cinematographer for films including Defense of the Realm, Sid and Nancy, White Mischief, Stormy Monday and Pascal's Island.
In 1991, Deakins began his long-term collaboration with the Coen brothers, starting with the film Barton Fink. The Coens had been impressed with Deakins' work, and reached out to him after their previous collaborator Barry Sonnenfeld left to pursue a career in directing. The film won the Palme d'Or, Best Director, and Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival and earned Deakins Best Cinematography Awards in New York, Chicago and Los Angeles critics' circles.
In 1994, Deakins was admitted to the American Society of Cinematographers. He served as cinematographer for The Shawshank Redemption, which earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Cinematography, as well as his first American Society of Cinematographers Award. He received 2 further Academy Award nominations that decade, for Fargo and Kundun respectively.
For the Coen brothers' film Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, Deakins spent some 2 months fine-tuning the look, turning the lush green Mississippi landscape into a burnt, autumnal yellow and desaturating the overall image. This feat made Oh Brother the first ever feature film to be digitally color-corrected in its entirety, and earned Deakins his 4th Academy Award nomination. The following year, for his work in the Coen brothers' The Man Who Wasn't There, Deakins received his 5th Oscar nomination and won his first BAFTA Award for Best Cinematography.
The U.S. National Board of Review of Motion Pictures honored Deakins with an award for career achievement in cinematography in 2007.
In 2008, Deakins received dual Oscar nominations, his 6th and 7th, for the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford in No Country for Old Men. He was the first cinematographer to achieve such a feat since Robert Surtees, who was nominated for The Last Picture Show in Summer of '42 in 1972. Deakins served as director of photography for Stephen Daldry's The Reader but left mid-production due to delays and previous commitments, and was replaced by Chris Menges. The 2 cinematographers received a shared nomination for Best Cinematography at the 81st Academy Awards.
Deakins worked with the Coens on the 2010 Western True Grit, their 11th collaboration, for which he received his 9th Oscar nomination.
Deakins signed on as cinematographer for Skyfall, having previously worked with director Sam Mendes on Jarhead and Revolutionary Road. For his work, Deakins received another Academy Award nomination for Best Cinematography, eventually losing to Claudio Miranda of Life of Pi, his 10th nomination without securing a win.
In addition to his live-action work, Deakins also served as a visual consultant on animated features, including WALL-E, Rango, Rise of the Guardians, The Croods, and the first 2 How to Train Your Dragon films.
Deakins was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2013 birthday honors for services to film.
Starting with Prisoners, Deakins began working with director Denis Villeneuve. The 2 proceeded to collaborate on Sicario and Blade Runner 2049, with Deakins earning Oscar nominations for all 3 films. For his work on Blade Runner 2049, Deakins received his first Academy Award for Best Cinematography on his 14th nomination.
In 2018, Deakins filmed an adaptation of The Goldfinch, based on the novel of the same name, directed by John Crowley. He reunited with Sam Mendes on the 2019 war film 1917, for which he received his 15th Oscar nomination.
Deakins met script supervisor Isabella James Purefoy-Ellis in 1991 during the production of David Mamet's Homicide. They married on December 11, 1991. Since then, James Ellis Deakins and Roger have worked together as a team. As of July 2017, they reside in Kingswear, Devon, and Santa Monica, California.
Since 2005, Deakins has maintained the website through which he frequently communicates with admirers and other industry practitioners. His correspondence includes answering fan questions and offering cinematography tips.
Deakins is often cited as one of the greatest and most influential cinematographers of all time. His consistent output led fellow cinematographer Robert Elswit to jokingly suggest that the American Society of Cinematographers should establish a special award for films shot by Roger Deakins. Deakins did achieve a degree of notoriety, however, for his lack of success at the Academy Awards, where he received 13 nominations without a win, a fact often lamented by journalists and film critics. His first Oscar win for Blade Runner 2049 at the 90th Academy Awards was widely reported and met with great enthusiasm.
Deakins is considered to be among the most respected and sought-after cinematographers in the film business. His involvement in a film could secure the casting of established stars, a distinction usually reserved for auteur directors. He landed the role of director of photography in The Shawshank Redemption at the insistence of Tim Robbins, who had previously worked with him on the Coen brothers film The Hudsucker Proxy. Josh Brolin agreed to join the cast of Sicario only after hearing of Deakins' involvement. When Ryan Gosling accepted his role in Blade Runner 2049, he cited the involvement of Deakins as a factor for his decision.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.